So on to Hufflepuff, and we start with exactly the same arrangement with our grassy plate at the bottom. Now, if you've seen or owned the Quidditch set, you're going to realise fairly soon that each of the sets of bleachers, each of the viewing towers, is made up of completely different builds, which is fun, and it meant that not all the builds were the same when I was putting this together, but it does mean we've got some fairly unusual organisations of bricks. You can just see we've got 3 1x3 plates, a 1x1, a 1x2. We have to use all sorts of different shapes and configurations to get our bleachers built up, but there are enough bricks in the full set, again a little stack of 3 plates, to help us to build up these viewing stands. So that's the main thrust of Hufflepuff done. We're going to open one of these. Now in the set, Hufflepuff is where all the scores are kept, and I started off initially having here these 2 bricks that actually have a couple of the short Technic pins, studded Technic pins through them, to hold on the team badges of the 2 teams playing in the match. But unfortunately those studs stuck out and it stopped the book from closing completely, so I was taking them out and studding them into like up here in the side. And much as I said earlier that I do enjoy a little build each time I open the book, that one was just a pain in the neck. So yet again, contradicting myself about I've only added 1 extra brick, I'm going to replace those with some headlight bricks, which, as you will be aware, means I'm going to have to add yet more bricks, because these studs are obviously recessed, but it keeps it nice and flush from this aspect. But it means our 2x2 team badges will now not stick on there without another 1x2 on the back of them. So yet more things to add. Just going to close off the side there with a 1x1. Now the next layer is another brown plate, and on the back of that I'm going to bracket with a 1x2 on top. We'll just slide behind there, clip in, and that bracket, if we can see, no, the shadows have got it, that just clips into the back wall. And we're going to start building up. Now, I didn't realise that the Hufflepuff cover was quite so precarious. There's nothing holding the back of this brick onto the build, but luckily, due to this bracket, everything is held completely pushed down and in place. Again, we've got our single studded piece that will sit on top with our team flag on top of that. And to build up our bleachers again, these 3 down to 2 jumpers. And these pieces just on there to complete the front. I'll attach that to the build. And there we have our first 2 stands for our Quidditch pitch. Now I think you can probably see why I changed to the sand blue, because it just gives that illusion of sky, a bit more space, because when they were attached to the dark tan plates, which did match the outside spine, it just all looked a bit oppressive, and it looked like the Quidditch pitch was built right up to the castle wall, which obviously it isn't. And these 2 shut down nicely into each other just like that. We're going to add some more spectators. But to finish the book element, we just need to add a couple more bits and pieces. So let's deconstruct this, ready for storage, and we'll show you what those bits are. So here we are with our parts broken down for storage. We've got our flags inside. Our banner is just studded into the side and will fit in that space there. Now we just need to finish off with the tops of our pages. Now, because of the angles of these slopes, we can't build a particularly stable or sound cap, and we can't use a usual profile bricks with the lines marked in to simulate paper pages. So we're going to have to go with a little bit of a different idea, and that's this arrangement here. So it's just plain plates, one 6x2 and a 4x2 on each side, and they are held together on this zigzag arrangement here. So as you can see, the 6x attaches on the first two studs, 4x on the other two, and that's repeated the opposite way around on the other side. And that is so that we can snake around between our two bleacher tops, and we just use the two studs on top to hold our pages in, and that completes the look of our book. Not the most pretty with the sand blue and with the tan cover, but I could not find inverted plates in the sand blue, and a quick look on Bricklick made it look like they may not even be manufactured in that colour. So I'm just going to have to live with it, or find possibly some way of masking the backs of these spines, adding yet more bricks to the build. So let's go on to detailing the covers. So our covers are going to be detailed as all of the Hogwarts moments are, just with these quarter round pieces in the corners. And although it increased the width of the build on the shelf, you just stop all these studs clashing with each other as you pull them on and off the bookshelf. And I said that. We're going to cause a little bit of a clash in a moment. There's a place to store our team bricks when the match is underway. We're going to have these guys up on the outside, still flush with that, but to completely ruin all of that good work, I'm going to pop some bricks, or some plates rather, just up here. And although they're not needed for the later stage of the build, they do just make things a little bit more secure and stop things sliding around, and you will see what I mean shortly. So that's volume 1 done. Let's move on to volume 2.